everyone, and welcome back to another video here on the Madden Franchise Info series. I'm Original Big Rouge here on the Rouge Gaming channel, bringing you your Madden Franchise Info. Today we're going to be talking about the scouting process here in Madden Franchise. Some people have found it confusing in the past. We're going to go over it, as well as provide you some resources that will help you find the players that you need to build up your organization. So we're not going to waste any time here. We're going to jump right into it. This is our week 3. This is the first time we've gone into scouting for this particular franchise. The very first time that a commissioner or a league owner goes into the franchise, you'll be greeted with this message. You can download draft classes from the Madden Share out in the main menu. If you want to just do auto-generated rookies, that's what 99% of leagues do. Go ahead and just auto-generate rookies. It will create a draft class for you, and it will bring you to a couple of prompts. So what you'll be greeted with here is a screen where it's going to basically get you to scout the first 3 attributes or skills of the first player. So in this case, it was a quarterback. On the left-hand side, you'll see how many scouting points I have remaining for the week, what my needs are potentially for my team. It'll tell me what the overall grade is, how many active, and how many required are needed on the roster in order to play. So the required are the absolute bare minimum that you need. It will also show you what your draft picks are currently for the year. So going back to the players, so you'll be able to see everything that you need to know right off the bat. You'll see their name, you'll see their school, their archetype, their position, height, weight, where they're kind of projected to go, and how much it's going to cost to unlock the next set of attributes. Now, if you go and you click here, you'll see that there's also a spot for Combine Report. That shows up later on in the off season. It'll show up in your week 2 off season. We'll cover that in a different video, but it's good to know about it now, so that you're not confused, how fast is this guy? How strong is this guy? How high does he jump? All that kind of stuff. You find that all out later. Don't worry too much about it. As far as the scouting points go, you'll notice that some of them are a little bit cheaper than others. It depends on your coach. If you're playing as an owner, you're able to hire and fire scouts. They will determine who gets the bonus. So if you hire a scout that is well versed in offensive linemen, all offensive linemen will be cheaper when you go to scout them. When you play as a coach, I believe it's just kind of randomly generated. I haven't found a proper way to actually go through and figure out what the process is that Madden uses. So let's go ahead and let's use up all of our points here. We'll just pick the top guys here just to kind of show what's going on. There we go, and we'll finish out our points here. Okay, so let's look at this first quarterback here. So we see that it shows the top 3 skills as throw power, throw accuracy short, and throw accuracy deep. Now, basically, every single time you see a skill like this, it will be shown as a letter grade. It'll be shown as an A plus, A minus, B plus, B minus, so on and so on, all the way down to D, I believe, is the lowest grade you can get. In previous Maddens, we've gone back and forth between the grades actually meaning something to last Madden. It was more they were based on the class themselves. So if it was an A plus throw power, your quarterback might only get 87 throw power, but he had an A plus because he had the highest throw power of that draft class. From what I've been reading and what I've been seeing, and I'm going to read off to you some stats here, and I'll leave a link to these ones, to these in the description below as well. I'm going to be reading some stuff off of Madden School here for you today, just to show you some of the numbers, but looks like Madden has gone back to actual values for their grades. So, for instance, if you're looking at the throw power here, so your A plus, that is going to be a 90 plus rating. So you can expect to have a throw power of 90 or higher. For A is 86 to 89, A minus is 82 to 85, B plus 78 to 81, B 75 to 77, sorry, B minus 72 to 74, and then it goes below that as well. So you can see here, so A plus throw power, we'd be looking at 90 plus. Our throw accuracies there, we'd be looking between 82 and 85, right? So I'll leave a link to the description below. There's actually two different links that I'll put down there. It actually shows the combine grades as well. They've got a part 1 and a part 2 guide here, so I will link that down below. So there's a couple of different pieces when it comes to scouting. This is kind of the first one here. Went through the letter grades, went through the positions, went through the players themselves. You'll see that some of them, once you scout them, they may actually show as a lower grade or a higher grade than what they have been shown to be drafted on the board. Something to pay attention to. Sometimes it means absolutely nothing. Sometimes it means that maybe their other stats aren't that high, and you're going to be getting a lower overall player. When it comes to being in multiple user leagues especially, but even if you're in your own league, and let's say you want to remember a player, you've got a player maybe 60 or 70 rows down, you want to maybe look at him in the 4th or 5th round, you can go ahead and press triangle or Y, depending on what console you're playing on, and that will put them into the draft board. Now, if you're playing in a multi-user league and for whatever reason you can't make the draft, if you make a draft board, it will automatically take the first player off of your draft board, or the top player, rather, when you are not there. So the commissioner will be able to simulate your pick. It'll take that top player off of the board, and then they can continue moving on with the draft if you're not there to do it in person. So that's something a little bit easier if you're wanting to do it that way. Something that I found too, just a little tip, more quality of life than anything. If you want to just scout the first stat for everybody, you can just click unscouted and continue to hit square or X, I believe, is on Xbox. And you'll be able to just scout the next person and it'll just continue going down the list. So you see you've got John Gilmore here. If you scouted him, he would fall off the list. And then Connor Sweet would be at the top of the list, and he would fall off the list, and then Brandon Hyde, and so on and so on and so on. So you don't have to keep going down the list. So that's just a little quality of life thing that I have found when it comes to the scouting. When you're looking at development traits and maybe some inside tips on how guys are going to be, you can go to your news stories, which is going to be over here under the League tab. Go to News, and you're going to hold right trigger and go down to Draft Stories. This is going to typically give you a good idea of who's going to get good development traits. Typically, the first couple guys who have stories about them. So here you see Andrew Bayless. quarterback family, football family, martial arts star in Leonard Mabin, those sort of things, they've got a better chance of having a good trait. If you come back to these stories throughout the season and guys, maybe they have a bad game or they have an injury history or anything like that, any negative story, you have a better chance of them not having that higher development trait. And when I say higher development trait, I mean higher than just a normal. So it could be star, superstar, X factor. And of course, those dev traits can be hidden as well. So you might not see them right away when you draft them, but you might be able to take advantage of that later on in the season as you develop them. So that's it, guys. That is scouting in a nutshell. I will leave the links to the Madden School website pages that explain kind of the scouting guides that they've got. They've got a part 1 and a part 2. They've seemed to have done a great job researching that for us. So let's use it as a tool for your organization and be able to draft the best players possible. Once again, guys, I can't thank you enough for the support. Please subscribe to the channel if you found this information interesting or informative. And of course, leave a like on this video. It helps advertise this video to other viewers and bump it up the pages for everybody else to see. So once again, thank you for the support. And until next time, we'll see you in the next video.